Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, so it's time to dig in on the new Pokémon TCG Pocket set, Deluxe Pack EX. Is this the best set ever? Is it the most exciting set ever? Or is it actually super annoying and going to leave some people absolutely crazy? It really depends how you look at this set. So, it is largely a reprint set. Not entirely a reprint set, but to put it into context, with all of the different versions, there are 379 cards in the set. In terms of new mechanically unique cards, there are 0. In terms of new artwork cards, there are 26. 26 out of 379. That is 7%. 7% of the new set is new artwork. Nothing is mechanically new. That is not good. It gets even worse when we dig into the rarity. Shout out to Maverick Nate for helping us out with this one. There are 4 slots in the pack, 4 cards per pack. This is how the rarity breaks down. And, for instance, the 2 rainbow splodge cards, it's the shiny cards, all right? There's only 2 of them in the set. It's Giratina and Darkrai. We'll talk more about this in a minute. They are fantastic choices, incidentally. They can only come around in the 3rd slot, and there's a 1.7% chance of them appearing. Oh, cool. The 3-star, by which I mean the immersive, this is Pikachu EX, it's phenomenal. That can only come around in the 3rd slot, and there's a 1.1% chance of it appearing. In fact, if you add up all of the fancy cards, because, that they can only appear in slot number 3, we got just under 13, 2.5, just over 1, 1 2/3, and 0.2. It's like an 18% chance or less. And bearing in mind, the vast majority of that is your 1-star rarity, your alternate art, your illustration rares, etc., like your Greninja. Make no mistake about it, the pull rates on this are not great in a set with 26 new cards out of 379. That is a big, big downside. And if you want to criticize a set, and there's plenty of good things, we're going to talk about the good in a moment, but if you want to go critical with a set, that's one thing to point out. The pull rates are pretty bad for a set that doesn't have many new cards. What they do have is kind of reverse holo versions of them. Take a look at Sprigatito here. There's regular and there's reverse holo. Does anyone really care? Like, you genuinely might. That's an honest question. Let me know in the comment section. I'm not sure I care very much. So yeah, I'm just not loving this, truth be told. It's just a bit, it's fine, but I'm just a bit disappointed in these, if I'm honest. They just don't look that good. And it's like half the set. But the other thing to bear in mind is, let's take regular Greninja. Regular Greninja is indistinguishable from the one we had in Genetic Apex. But it doesn't count towards your Dex collection for Genetic Apex. Which means if you pull a card in Deluxe Pack EX that you're missing from a previous set, it doesn't give you credit for having it in the previous set, despite the fact that it's exactly the same card. Yeah, that's going to get really annoying. You know it's going to get really annoying? Trading. Because it counts as the same card, but it doesn't count towards your Dex, which means you don't know if you're trading for the card that's going to complete your Dex or not until you trade for it and see whether it completes your Dex. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible situation. Because, for instance, in EV Grove, the only card I didn't pull was Sylveon EX. Yes, it is the best card in the set. Yes, it is annoying I pulled literally every card except the best card in the set. No, I wasn't terribly happy, but my lovely friend Joe, he of Cerebi.net, he traded me one with good. If he hadn't traded me one and I pulled it from Secluded Spring, I wouldn't have completed the decks for Eevee Grove, despite having a card which is identical to the card in Eevee Grove. That is legitimately annoying. And honestly, could drive people absolutely crazy. You think you've completed the decks, you trade for the card you need. Joke's on you. It's actually the Deluxe Pack EX version, but you had no way of knowing in advance. If I have been lied to, if I am mistaken, and there is a way to tell them apart, let me know. But the ones I'm pulling today are just adding on to my previous list. It's not giving me a second version of Sylveon. It's just adding any Sylveon I pull to the Sylveon in my collection. But I'm told from people who I believe and trust that they don't count towards the decks. That's annoying. So there are massive downsides to the set. It's mostly a reprint set. The pull rates aren't great. And the ones you pull here don't count towards your decks for previous sets. That is going to add up to a lot of disappointment. So what's the positives? Well, there are two positives. Number one, the new cards are beautiful. Let's run through them nice and quickly. It's not going to take long. There aren't that many of them, but they are pretty stunning. So in the regular, the 1-star rarities, your alternate art, etc., we've got ourselves a Florigato, which is honestly kind of beautiful. We've got a Crawdaunt by Rend, which is stunning. We've got that Greninja I showed you earlier, one of the best cards in the entire game, now with better artwork. We've got Gardevoir, which again, phenomenal playable card. We've got the Slurpuff with Sweets Rally, and we all like trying to make that deck work. We got a beautiful Farfetch. We all know how good that was when Genetic Apex came out. Now we got lovely alternate art. That's it. Those are the 1-star rarities. There are 6 of them. The vast majority of the new fantasy cards you pull are going to be this, and there's only 6 of them. Moving up into your 2 stars, we've got that new style of card. We got like Buzzwole. It's phenomenal. Charizard, look how beautiful this card is. Ho-Oh, and I promise you they look so much better on your phone screen than they do right now. Palkia, you'll notice these are all cards that have been playable, not a coincidence. The Pikachu I showed you before. We've got Mewtwo and Mew, both of which are great. Lunala, which to be fair hasn't been that great, but there's at least potential. We've got Dialga. We've got Solgaleo. Solgaleo, phenomenal card, one of my favourites in the entirety of Pokemon Pocket. We've got Eevee, that is phenomenal, because it can evolve into other evolutions, and it's got a different name to Eevee, so you can play 2 of this and 2 of the normal. We got Lugia. We got Arceus. These cards are stunning. Absolutely stunning. They've just got low pull rates, and that's going to get a little bit sad. Also counting within the 2-star cards, we do have some supporter cards, some trainer cards. We got Professor's Research. Never had an old art, now it does. We've got Lily. And we got Lusamine. That's it. That's all of them. But the Professor's Research alone is going to be amazing. We've then got the Immersive Pikachu and the 2 shiny cards I showed you before. Pikachu is the only 3-star rare in the set. Darkrai and Giratina are the 2 colourful splodges. And then we've got a Crown Rare Candy, which to be fair is phenomenal because Rare Candy is great. So we have phenomenal new artwork here. It's just very low pull rates and a huge, gigantic set. But there's one other thing which I think we need to really give Pokemon a lot of credit for. Here is, according to Limitless TCG, who are the best at tracking this, here are the top 5 decks in Pokemon TCG Pocket right now. In the Secluded Springs metagame, these are the top 5 decks. And let's just have a look at Deluxe Pack EX, shall we? Now, Suicune Greninja, Suicune's from Secluded Springs. That set is not in Deluxe Pack EX. Suicune was never going to be in there. It couldn't be in there. Greninja, however, is. Oh, that's quite cool. Darkrai, Giratina, well, I've already shown you that they are the shiny cards, but just in case you were wondering, yes, of course, the regular versions of both of those cards are in there. The 3rd best deck in the game, Guzzlord EX. Don't worry, obviously Guzzlord is in there. 4th best deck right now, Flareon. And I've already shown you Eevee, but here's the regular Eevee. And here is the Flareon. 5th best deck right now, Espeon, Sylveon. And yes, both Espeon and Sylveon, are in the set. Pokemon are not doing random reprints here. Pokemon are going out of their way to reprint the best cards in the set. I'm not telling you every single card in here is a banger. There are cards in here that were meant to be good that didn't turn out to be that good. There are cards in here that have potential but haven't seen much play yet. But I'm telling you, you can basically go through the list of all the best cards in the game. They are all in this set. Boswell Pheromosa is a number 6 deck. Obviously, both Boswell and Pheromosa are in here. If you're looking to try and build a competitive deck, or a bunch of competitive decks, and you haven't been keeping up with the game so far, this set is phenomenal for building up your stable of playable cards. Now, if like me, you have been playing since the beginning, and you've been going out of your way to make sure you've got 2 copies of all the good cards, less relevant. But for players who want to play properly, want to play competitively, who don't have play sets, who don't have 2 copies of all the really good cards, this set is phenomenal. So where do we come down on this set? Because this has turned into like a proper full-on set review. Here's what I can tell you. New cards are very few and the pull rates aren't great. That is going to leave a lot of people very disappointed. But there are a bunch of stunning new cards in here, and it is phenomenal for building up your stable of playable cards. So in that regard, it's actually kind of cool. I'm going to let you decide where you come down on this. For now, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the set. Tell me your thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely It's a Coaster, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now and is awesome. So shout-out to them for the support and the awesomeness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.